You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, earlier today, this morning, in fact, I dropped a video about unrivaled ratings being straight trash. I mean, complete dog shiznit, right? And they are. They've fallen off a cliff. Now, something I did not mention, the ratings have went down versus last year, despite there being a new television rating system.
The lights dimmed, the crowd vanished. Just 870 fans in its sold-out inaugural season. Now in year 2, the sparkle isn't just worn off, it's disintegrated. Empty seats echoed in an arena supposedly expanded to 1,000 capacity, exposing a grim reality far worse than anyone dared to imagine. This isn't just a misstep, it's a catastrophic implosion happening right before our eyes. A crisis laid bare for the entire sports world to witness. The silence in those abandoned venues screams louder than any hyped-up marketing campaign, revealing a stark truth about the viability of this ambitious league.
Now, something I did not mention, the ratings have went down versus last year, despite there being a new television rating system that has, as we've seen, artificially inflated numbers versus previous years, and the numbers are still way down. You got Breanna Stewart coming out having to talk about the ratings and the fact that, it's pretty clear they think the television ratings is how this league is going to survive. Who could have seen that 3-on-3 basketball was not a good idea? Anyway, now we're finding out.
The initial promises of a revolutionary 3-on-3 basketball league designed to keep top talent stateside have evaporated into thin air. Ratings, touted as the lifeblood of any modern sports enterprise, are not just falling, they've plummeted off a cliff. Even with a new television rating system that typically inflates numbers, the viewership for this league has collapsed compared to last year's already modest figures, painting a devastating picture of audience disinterest. It's a stark reminder that artificial boosts cannot mask fundamental flaws.
Where we have found out they can't sell tickets. The very league that is owned by two representatives on the Players Union for the WNBA Players Association, and the two VPs, their league is officially spiraling the toilet. Once again, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you check to see if you are subscribed. Thank you guys for watching. Check out blackwhitenetwork.com. Become a member for exclusive content. Wow. I read this. The ratings, by the way, are even worse than we thought.
Breanna Stewart, a prominent WNBA star, was already speaking out about the league's struggle to capture an audience, underscoring the desperate belief among some that television ratings alone would dictate survival. The very premise of 3-on-3 basketball as a standalone draw has been proven a spectacular misjudgment. This wasn't merely a bad idea, it was a foundational miscalculation that has now brought the entire project to its knees, leaving everyone scrambling for answers and facing an undeniable failure of vision.
Whitenetwork.com. Become a member for exclusive content. Wow. I read this. The ratings, by the way, are even worse than we thought. Even worse than I brought up earlier. This is just all around a total failure at this point. I said I thought there was a slim chance that this league was around. Would it make a season 3? I don't know how it can now. I really don't. Unless some investor comes in that cares more about the social aspect of this and decides.
A scathing pull back the curtain report from Front Office Sports, a media outlet often seen as pro-player, delivered the final crushing blow. The article revealed the undeniable truth. Ticket sales are non-existent. This league, co-owned by two representatives on the WNBA Players Association Union, is officially circling the drain, spiraling into total collapse. It's a complete reversal from any initial optimism, exposing how fragile even well-intentioned ventures can be when faced with brutal market realities.
Drawing a sold-out crowd of 870 eager eyes. 870. In year 2, the sparkle has worn off. Look, when a sports media outlet like Front Office Sports writes what they just did, uh-oh. Look out. Oh, man. Look out. The campus just beyond Miami city limits was quieter during the opening weekend of the 3-on-3 Basketball League's second season. The Fan Fest outside was less of a throng and more like a collection.
The numbers are truly horrific. Unrivaled's opening slate on January 5th, airing on both TNT and True TV, averaged a mere 75,000 viewers, but the real gut punch came from the True TV exclusive games that same day, pulling in an abysmal 32,000 viewers. To put that in perspective, many YouTube creators are racking up more views on single videos in a week than this entire league on national television. This isn't just a low turnout, it's a stark, undeniable signal of profound disengagement.
Role players, outside of 5 players in women's basketball, they can't put 1,000 people in seats. Boy, look, if you are a WNBA player that watches this channel, and by the way, I know you guys do, I would get on the horn to Nike Agumake, and I would say, we're signing the CBA. We're signing the CBA because that footing that you thought was so solid.
Subsequent games offered little reprieve, with January 9th broadcast averaging 139,000 viewers and games on January 10th and 11th on True TV dropping further to a paltry 71,000. This represents a steep, alarming decline from its first season, which averaged 21,000 viewers and peaked at a respectable 77,000 for its one-on-one tournament final. The drastic cut in viewership, essentially halved in a single year, signals a rapid and irreversible erosion of its audience base.
Averaged 175,000 viewers in 2 games that aired on both TNT and True TV. Listen to this. The 2 True TV exclusive games on January 5th averaged 32,000 viewers. I've got videos this week with more views than that. Wow. Okay. Games on January 9th averaged 139,000 viewers across TNT and True TV. The 4 games which aired January 10th, 11th.
During the league's second season opening weekend, the campus just outside Miami city limits was eerily quiet. The highly anticipated Fan Fest, once envisioned as a bustling throng, was reduced to a sparse collection of scattered supporters. Inside the renovated arena, expanded to hold 1,000 fans, the empty seats were not just noticeable, they were a glaring, undeniable testament to a lack of interest, a physical manifestation of the league's rapid decline. It painted a stark picture of a dream fading fast.
It's the best thing to happen to Adam Silver and the WNBA and NBA owners. This is the best thing that could have happened to them. Because they're all sitting back and they're watching this and they're smiling. They're smiling. These players, hey, WNBA players, pretend that you went on strike. Now, pretend there's a imaginary picket line. You better pretend your ass walking right across that son of a bitch and signing that CBA contract. You better go get your money while it's still there.
The hard truth emerges. Beyond a handful of superstar names like Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, and Angel Reese, this league cannot even fill 1,000 seats. The inability to draw a consistent crowd, even with top-tier talent, highlights a fundamental problem with the product itself or its marketing. It exposes a painful reality that star power alone cannot sustain a league if the overall appeal is missing, leading to the kind of critical failure that shakes the foundations of any ambitious venture. Unrivaled CEO Alex Brazil Brazil offered a brave face, stating the league is building for a long game and remains confident in its outlook. He insisted they are proud of the products we're putting on the court each week and will continue growing our audience. While leagues aren't built overnight, as Brazil noted, the undeniable reality of viewership being cut in half paints a grim picture for any long-term strategy, making his words sound increasingly hollow against the backdrop of catastrophic data. Despite the glaring evidence of empty seats and cratering ratings, the league astonishingly claimed its opening weekend was sold out. They also insisted that other revenue streams, chiefly ticket and merchandise sales, were strong. However, this assertion clashes directly with eyewitness accounts and statistical data, raising serious questions about the transparency and accuracy of their official statements, casting a shadow of doubt over any future claims of success or growth, a common tactic in a crisis. The league announced a tour stop in Philadelphia, planning 2 games on January 30th at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, a venue with a massive capacity of 17,000 to 20,000 fans. This decision could prove disastrous, setting the stage for what might be the most embarrassing moment in women's basketball history if only a fraction of those seats are filled. The potential for a cavernous, empty arena looms large, threatening to amplify the perception of failure on a grand, undeniable scale. Yet, in another baffling claim, Unrivaled stated these Philadelphia games were already sold out, with reseller prices starting at $1 free. This immediately sparks skepticism. Are the games genuinely sold out, or are resellers simply hoping to offload tickets for an event that might struggle to attract a crowd? The disconnect between the league's narrative and the bleak reality of its viewership and attendance figures raises serious questions about the integrity of these pronouncements. The league also reported a supposed 50% increase in merchandise sales and a 40% jump in ticket revenue from September through opening weekend. However, they attributed the ticket revenue increase to added seats and games, a critical detail. This suggests that any gains might not be due to organic growth in demand, but simply an expansion of inventory, making the numbers less impressive and possibly masking a continued struggle to attract new, genuine interest in the product. A crucial selling point for Unrivaled was providing a domestic alternative to playing overseas, allowing players to stay home. Yet a quote from a player, Eli Thomas, surfaced, revealing a misconception that we don't want to play overseas. She emphasized seeking the best opportunity and admitted, "I enjoyed overseas." This direct contradiction from a player undermines a core tenet of the league's appeal, suggesting that the initial promises were little more than empty rhetoric, a painful unraveling of their narrative. This entire dramatic turn of events, with its widespread publicity, surprisingly serves as the absolute best-case scenario for Adam Silver and the NBA owners. They are watching this colossal failure unfold with knowing smiles. The collapse of an alternative league designed to empower players and give them leverage directly benefits the established power structure. It reinforces their position and weakens any collective bargaining stance players might hope to take in future negotiations. For WNBA players, this means the solid footing they thought they had achieved has been violently yanked out from beneath them. Their supposed alternative league, a source of potential independence and negotiating power, has proven to be a mirage. This stark reality means they must now seriously consider signing those CBA contracts, because the leverage they once believed they held has all but disappeared, leaving them vulnerable and exposed in a rapidly shifting landscape. The message to the players is unequivocal: go get your money while it's still there. The dream of a robust competitive alternative league is dead. The idea that your little alternative 3x3 league will provide long-term stability or increased bargaining power is a fantasy that has now been brutally shattered by market forces. The harsh truth is that this venture, meant to be a stepping stone, has become a cautionary tale for anyone daring to challenge the established order. The league's financial sustainability is now deeply questionable. Why would a major broadcaster like TNT continue to be involved with a product whose viewership has plummeted to such unsustainable levels? The business model simply doesn't make sense without a significant audience, and the current trajectory suggests a rapid erosion of any remaining interest. The financial implications are severe, casting a dark cloud over the league's ability to secure future investments or broadcast deals. This total collapse has unfolded with shocking speed, even quicker than many anticipated. What was once seen as a promising, albeit niche, venture has dissolved into a stark example of ambition outstripping market demand. The empty arenas and abysmal ratings are not just statistics, they are tombstones, marking the swift demise of a league that failed to capture the imagination, exposing the brutal realities of the professional sports landscape for all to see. The ultimate takeaway is a stark lesson in market dynamics and player power. The dramatic failure of this alternative league serves as a powerful message not just to the players, but to everyone in the sports industry. Perceived leverage can be fleeting, and true sustainability is built on genuine fan engagement in a compelling product, not just good intention. This crisis isn't just a loss for Unrivaled, it's a profound reordering of power, reminding us that in the end, numbers and empty seats reveal the unvarnished truth.